All right, let's answer this question here. And this one definitely requires a bit of thinking. So let's put our thinking caps on, everyone. Question 8. Matrix A is an n by n matrix where n is greater than 1. Now, if it's n by n, that means that this thing is a square, doesn't it? It's a square because I have the same number of rows as I do columns. All right, matrix R is a row matrix. Matrix R is a row matrix. What does that mean? It means I have one row, and now I could have as many columns as I want. So I'll just call it 1 times A. That is the dimensions of this thing. Matrix C is a column matrix. Now, if something's a column matrix, it means it could have as many rows as you want, but it has to have one column. So it's B by 1. All right, which one of the matrix products below would result in a 1 by 1 matrix? The way I would approach this is I would just go through each one and see if I get a 1 by 1 out. So let's start with A, which is ACR. So A is my n by n. C, now it's 1 times as many columns as I want. Now I've put this as A, but let's make it n. So we'll make it n matrix, and I'll make this n as well, because that's really what we're going to be dealing with mostly. It could be any number, but just, we should make it n here. So wait, C was this one right here, wasn't it? So we're going to go n by 1. So you can understand why I've made it n, because now these can multiply. And then R will be 1 by n. So this is looking pretty promising. N and n are the same. So remember, these will kind of go away, and I'll get n by 1 for that one. So I've just done that multiplication there. And then I still have to times it by 1 times n. Those ones go away, and I'm left with n times n. And you might be thinking to yourself, all right, if n is equal to 1, then this will be a 1 by 1. But remember what you're told up here, that n is greater than 1. So since n is greater than 1, it does not work. It does not work. All right, nope. All right, that means we go to B now. All right, B is ARC. So A is n by n. R is my 1 by n. And C is my n by 1. Immediately, do you see here, I've got n here, I've got 1 there. And you might think the only way I can multiply these things together if n is equal to 1. But n is greater than 1. N is greater than 1. So nope, this whole thing can't be multiplied because you can't get past that first step. Remember that the amount of columns has to be equal to the amount of rows to do the multiplication. So that's, we got to C. All right, car. Don't let me down, car. All right, CAR. All right, well, C is n by 1. A is n by n. Immediately, it's not going to work. I've got 1 here. I've got n there. I'm just going to stop. Nope, it ain't working. Let's keep on going. I'm running out of room. Let's go to D. All right, this is RAC, not RACV. That's who you call when your car breaks down. So let me zoom out. All right, R was 1 by n. A is n by n. This is looking good. And then C is n by 1. This is looking good. This is going to work. Do you know how I know it's going to work? Because that will cancel with that and leave me with 1 by n. All right, and then I've still got my n by 1 here. That will cancel with that. Look at that. 1 by 1. D is my answer. Huzzah, we did it. D is the correct answer. D. Hopefully that has made sense of how we have approached this, a bit of trial and error, and really understanding what they've given us at the beginning. So really a thinking question here. If you look at the examiner's report here, let's see how they said we should do it. The defined product of a row matrix times a column matrix produces a 1 by 1 matrix. The product of the 3 matrices is required to give a 1 by 1 matrix. Therefore, either, they give you a whole bunch of these, looking at the pairs of matches. Cool. They've basically done it the same way we have. They've kind of identified small elements in each one. So for instance, they recognize that A and R is not defined, C and A is not defined, and then kind of just eliminate it immediately. So as soon as you say AR, you know it's going to be undefined. As soon as you see CA, you know it's going to be undefined, and then you can just keep on moving, which is a good way to do it as well. So make sure you read through this so you can get inside the mind of the VCAR people.